Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated uploads in YouTube's history. This is Sean's View Entertainment, right here on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe with your Extreme Rules 2014 review. I would call it pay-per-view review, but now that it's on the WWE Network for a very low price of $9.99, you should go subscribe to it right now and get some greatest matches, greatest pay-per-views, ECW, WCW, WWE. All right, let's get to the review. Kicks off with the pre-show match. It's the WLC match, okay? Now, this featured midgets, not only the referee, not only the opponents, not only the announcers, but the ring announcer. This was some pretty entertaining stuff. We've seen some good spots with a table and a ladder and a chair. Like I said, this was just funny. This was just for comedy purposes. And I think this match did serve its purpose. And actually, the fans actually started chanting, "This is awesome." I cannot believe we heard a "This is awesome" chant during a WLC match. And it comes with El Torito getting the victory. So it was alright. I mean, hey, it's PG, but actually, this was pretty volatile. This is probably more violent than anything we'll see on the entire card tonight, but I don't know. As I record this, we'll see how the event goes. Even though every match isn't extreme, I think this night is still going to be a good night at the end of the day, and I hope I'm right about that, but I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, but I hope I'm not wrong on this instance. So I'd give that match, to start off, Extreme Rules, WLC, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, the famous 3.5. I hope that I say more than 3.5 tonight, especially with so much on the line. And in the first official match of Extreme Rules, it was a triple threat elimination match. It was Jack Swagger versus Cesaro versus Rob Van Dam. And you want to talk about a solid start. What a match to set the tone for the rest of the night. It was a very positive vibe in this match. There was some good chemistry between these three competitors. Jack Swagger, first one eliminated, and then it came down to RVD and Cesaro. We even seen a trash can brought into this match. And like I said, just a very solid performance. I give this match 4 out of 5 stars, and actually was better than I anticipated. Big ups to Cesaro for getting the victory. Cesaro's got, a bright future ahead of him, but, you got to give it up to Rob Van Dam and Jack Swagger, as they also shined in this match. Up next would be the handicap match. RTruth and Xavier Woods against Alexander Rusev, and not even two men could control the monster that is Alexander Rusev, who would completely destroy and dominate both competitors. RTruth and Xavier Woods, as they say, never really got out of the blocks. Not much to report on this match. This match actually, before the bell rang, Alexander Rusev was already on top of Xavier Woods and RTruth, getting a little retaliation after being somewhat embarrassed on Raw and SmackDown this week. So he's definitely got a measure of revenge in this match, and it just goes to show you the strength, the skill, and the dominance. And Alexander Rusev is going to be a future big-time player in the WWE. This match, I would say, was 2.5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, nothing great here, but just shows you exactly what Alexander Rusev can bring to the table. And this guy is a force to be reckoned with in the WWE. Up next, the Intercontinental Championship would be on the line. Bad News Barrett versus Big E. Now, let me tell you what. I wish this match could have went on a little bit longer. That's my only complaint about it, but it was a hard-fought match. Both superstars, both competitors fought tooth and nail. Once again, a solid match. Bad News Barrett comes away with the bull hammer out of nowhere once it was a reversal into the ropes. Big E thought he had things going his way, but I'll tell you what, this match started off with a bang because Bad News Barrett had Big E controlled, but then Big E was able to mount an offense and he was explosive. But once Bad News Barrett was able to catch off Big E with the bull hammer, that was all she wrote. The fat lady was singing Bad News Barrett, the new Intercontinental Champion, in a match that I'm going to give 3.5 out of 5 stars just because the length of it. If it would have been a little bit longer, I would have given it 4 out of 5 stars, but great effort by both competitors. And up next, it was the clash. It was the showdown of epic proportions. The Shield versus Evolution. You want to talk about insane. You want to talk about physical. You want to talk about chaotic. You want to talk about brutal. This match represented everything about the reality era. What a match that kept you glued from the first bell to the last bell. Oh my God, match of the night, a match that stole the show. This match was everywhere, and this broke down pretty quickly, as we expected. It went inside the ring, it went outside the ring, it went into the crowd, it went into the stands. This match was awesome. The WWE did a great job on this match, and I cannot be any happier. This match, I'll tell you, going in, I knew it was going to be good, but this was even better than I thought. The referee allowed a lot of leeway, cut a lot of slack, and what a match, what moments, what highlights out of this match. The Shield gets the victory with the Theme being, the times are now a-changin'. Definitely match of the night, 5 out of 5 stars. Business has just picked up. What a great effort by all 6 competitors involved, but it came with Roman Reigns getting the victory via a spear on Batista. Batista getting a taste of his own medicine, so to speak. Wow, where is Joey Styles when you need him, or good old JR Jim Ross? Because I don't even know if that would have done this match justice. Justice has prevailed. And up next was the Steel Cage Showdown between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. And this match told a story and showed you that a Steel Cage match doesn't have to be absolutely brutal as concerns violence and bloodshed. Because this match told a great story. Now, yes, Bray Wyatt had the Wyatt family interfere on numerous occasions. John Cena had the odds stacked against him. It was an overwhelming stacked deck against John Cena. John Cena had this match won on multiple occasions. But, in the end, with a singing child, the Wyatt family, it took 4 people to take John Cena down. But you know what? I have no problem with the way that John Cena won, because it doesn't really make John Cena look weak. And Bray Wyatt is a heel. So the way he won and the tactics that he utilized is a heel maneuver. This is to get his message out there. This is to continue the program. Now, I know a lot of people are going to, there's still going to be some criticism. There's still going to be hate. There's going to still be people, oh, well, Bray Wyatt won, but it took 3 people to get the job done, and John Cena had to overcome the odds, and yada, 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 yada. You got to look at it from this perspective. It told a story, and the storyline continues, and I felt that this was still a good match. I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars because of everything that went into it and what it meant and the meaning behind it. It told a great story, and that's all I gotta say about that. And up next, the WWE Divas Championship was on the line. Tamina Snuka versus Paige, and what was a test. And you know what? To a certain extent, Tamina took Paige to the limit tonight, but in the end, it was Paige who had the wherewithal to stay in it, fight tough, fight hard, and was able to ultimately overcome Tamina. Paige, you're still your Divas champion, and what was a decent match. Thought it could have been a little bit better, but it was alright for what it was, 3 out of 5 stars. And then we go to the main event of Extreme Rules, and an Extreme Rules match, Daniel Bryan versus the Masked, Demented Kane. The devil's favorite demon, the dynamic, insane, volatile, violent, ballistic, satanic monster, the big red devil himself. Kane and Daniel Bryan definitely brought a new meaning to the word extreme, because this was extreme warfare. A match that I thought was just going to stay around the ring way, maybe around the entrance. It actually went backstage. When's the last time we've seen a WWE Extreme Rules match go backstage during a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match? Daniel Bryan threw everything at Kane except for the damn kitchen sink. But Kane kept coming. He was the demon. He was the monster. He was the demonic man that we all know. This was like the Attitude Era Kane coming out again. Daniel Bryan, chair shots, kendo sticks, tables. He brought everything he could, everything to his arsenal, but Kane kept rising. He kept rising, but there comes a time that every man stays down, and even Kane saw that time to stay down, as Daniel Bryan would knock Kane with chair shot after chair shot in a violent, sadistic manner, just like Kane was sadistic to Daniel Bryan several months ago. Not only several months ago, but in the last few weeks, everything that Kane put Daniel Bryan through. But in the end, Daniel Bryan, the man, the myth, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, threw caution at the wind, putting his own body on the line, putting it all at stake, all the torture, everything that the authority, everything that Kane, everything that Stephanie has put Daniel Bryan through. Would it be all worth it? Would it be all worth it in the end for Kane and Daniel Bryan? But then Kane would hit a monstrous chokeslam right through the announcer's position. Daniel Bryan was left for dead at that point of the game. Oh my God, what a chokeslam, what an explanation point to Daniel Bryan through that table. Would Daniel Bryan mount an offense? Could he come back? But then this match would go over the extreme, a flaming table. Oh my God, Kane went through the flaming table. Oh my God, didn't expect that. That was definitely out of left field. WWE throwing a swerve in this match. This definitely got taken to the extreme. I'd give this whole pay-per-view 8 out of 10 stars. Extreme effort, great match, great outing, great storytelling. From top to bottom, I was very impressed with Extreme Rules. Your comments, your opinions, subscribe.